anybody who grew up watching football in the United States didn't get to see a whole lot of it if they were growing up in the 80s, 70s, and 80s and the 90s, like I was. The only time you really saw football was occasionally the North American Soccer League, U.S. national team soccer. And if you did see any soccer or football, sometimes they would be interrupted with commercials. In fact, the first time I ever saw a game on U.S. television where they didn't interrupt the game with commercials was the 1993 U.S. Cup game versus U.S. versus Germany. Now, one of the things you also, if you did pay attention to football in the United States, one of the clubs that they would show you on a regular basis was Manchester United. Manchester United was a team that dominated the Premier League in the early going, and really pretty much up till 2013, they were the dominant team. But when you see Manchester United right now, they're in seventh place, and they're probably going to drop a lot farther than that. I would estimate Manchester United would be pretty fortunate to make a European spot this year. They may still do it, and they're still in it for the top four. They're not out of it, but they still have to go to Liverpool. They still have to go to Arsenal, and they still have to play Chelsea at home. So it's all in all likelihood they're probably not going to do it. They're probably not going to be top four. If they make it to Europe, it'll be in one of those Europa Conference leagues or the Europa League itself. But that's about as far as they're going to go. As far as the Premier League, they are miles off Chelsea, Liverpool, and Manchester City. The last time they played Manchester City, they got beat 4-1. When they played them at Old Trafford early in the year, they got beat 2-0. And Manchester City didn't even make a substitution the entire game. That's how easy that game was. They could have made it a lot worse. This should have been a penalty score called against Manchester United late in that game that was not called. It could have made the score 3-0, but it wasn't. But if you listen to a Manchester United fan now, and I watch quite a few of them on YouTube, one of the big things they're saying is Glazers out. They want to know how much it would cost to who's going to come in and take over Manchester United and get the Glazers out and change things for the better. Well, right now I checked out what it says Manchester United's net worth as of April 2022, and the estimated worth is $5 billion. So if you're a Manchester United fan and you have $5 billion laying around, then by all means, go ahead and buy them, okay? Or at least make an offer to the Glazers. Now, this all started really on March 2nd of 2003 when the Glazers bought their first shares. And this went on through, by October of 2003, they'd increased to 8.9%. 29th November, they had 15%. And then by October 2004, they had 30% where they had to make an offer. They managed to secure the rights from the shares from mining operator entrepreneur Harry Dobson, taking their value up to 62%. And by June 2005, they were offering actually May of 2005, they were offering shareholders to buy the remaining stock for 300 pence a share. And in May of 26, the board signaled to the remaining shareholders of their intention to sell. And then by, I think, 29th of June of 2005, they had secured the rights and they owned Manchester United. And if you look at Manchester United from that point on, 2005 through 2022, they won the Premier League title in 07, 08, 09, 2011, and 2013, including a Champions League in 2008, beating Chelsea, I think, in Moscow on penalty kicks. They were still successful under the Glazers, and the Glazers still gave Ferguson money to spend, and they were still a dominant team. But since Ferguson left, David Moyes came in, and he didn't last a full season. They then brought in Louis van Gaal, and he was shown the door after winning the FA Cup. Jose Mourinho comes in, and he doesn't do. He gets them to a Europa League, beating Ajax 2-0. But then he's shown the door. We then get to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Now, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer really wasn't a great manager, but he seemed to have a lot of luck go his way. Remember them beating Paris Saint-Germain in the Champions League. He took them to second place last season, the 2020-2021 season. And Cristiano Ronaldo comes in, and the next thing you know, now I'm skipping over a whole bunch of things, I know that. But Cristiano Ronaldo comes in, and Manchester United thinks they're going to be challenging for the title. Cristiano Ronaldo did not solve the problem. Cristiano Ronaldo is 37 years old. His best days are behind him. He is still capable of doing good things. He did it against Tottenham. He had a hat trick against Tottenham a couple weeks ago, and Tottenham right now is on a hot streak. But when you look at Manchester United right now, and you listen to the fans, and the fact they're going to bring in Erik van Tag from Ajax, to bring him in, that they can change the course. How long is it going to take them to get back into promise? I heard somebody say he needs 2 or 3 transfer windows. Here's the reality, what I see with Manchester United. Manchester United has not been particularly good or great since Sir Alex Ferguson left. And the one thing that and this isn't just to Manchester United fans or Manchester United as a club, because this really goes beyond the whole sports spectrum. They don't have a lot of patience, okay? They're ready to throw people out the door. If you listen to Flying Pig, if you listen to Alice Talks Football, or Mark Goldbridge, or anybody else, Saeed, all those people on YouTube who follow Manchester United, they're screaming Glazers out. Now, the Glazers are making money hand over fist on Manchester United, and they're looking at it from an investment to make money. That's what they're doing, and that's what. And again, that follows the same pattern that you see from a lot of Americans. What are we doing? Why are we run the business to make money? Okay, we run the business to stay in business, but there's still a lot of debt on Manchester United, and it doesn't appear that their ambitions for the club match what the fans are. Now, the fans were used to getting a trophy every year, winning the Premier League, always in the Champions League, potentially going far in the Champions League, but that hasn't been happening. Okay, and it's not going to happen this year. It certainly didn't happen this year when they got beat by Atletico Madrid, and it's not going to happen next year because they may not even make European football. What I don't understand, as an American, I understand exactly what the Glazers are thinking here. Okay, what, and if you put yourself in the Glazers' position, what do they have to sell for? Why would I sell? Okay, I'm making money hands over fist. It's not like I live next door to Old Trafford. It's not like they're out protesting in my front door. I'm sure the Glazers care, and I'm sure the Glazers want Manchester United to survive and do well. I'm sure the Glazers want them to win Premier League trophies. I'm sure that the Glazers want all that stuff. I have no doubt in my mind about that. Problem is, the Glazers are running this like a business. Okay, they are running this like a business to make money, not like a football club to win trophies, and that's where the disconnect seems to be. The disconnect seems to be, why are your ambitions not meeting mine? Why aren't we going to be in the Champions League next year? Because the chances are they aren't going to be. Why aren't we challenging for the Premier League title? Why are our 2 biggest rivals, Manchester City and Liverpool, why are those 2 teams in first and second place and we're down here at 7? How come Liverpool can come in to Old Trafford and beat us 5-0? Mo Salah gets a hat trick, and I'll be honest with you, they are very lucky that Jurgen Klopp was the manager of Liverpool that day and not somebody like Kenny Dalglish or Graham Souness, okay? Because Jurgen Klopp called off the dogs. That could have been a lot worse. It was 5-0 about 49th minute into the game, okay? They still had a long second half to go, and Paul Pogba got red carded in the 60th minute, they could have made that an awful lot worse than it ended up being. But they were very fortunate that Jurgen Klopp called the dogs, and they were also pretty fortunate. And this is something that Flying Pig mentioned in his rant on the Manchester City game. The 2-0 score did flatter Manchester United, and then by the time they faced Watford at Vicarage Road, I think it was Vicarage Road where they play. Correct me if I'm wrong. You put it in the comments below. But by the time they made it to Watford, they got beat 4-1, and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was out the door. Now, here's where you go in and you buy and you go look to get a top-class manager. This is where you go and you get a real good manager. And there were some good managers on the block. Conte, who's now at Tottenham, was available. Now, it's come out that Cristiano Ronaldo went to the board or basically said, don't get Conte. I don't want Conte here. Now, if he has that much power of the club, then you got bigger problems than just the Glazers. Okay, that's just another one that's adding on to the list. But they had a chance to get, instead what their thought was, they hire a interim manager, Ralph Ragnick, that he's going to take them through the season, and then he'll stay on and hire a coach, hire a full-time manager. And right now, Manchester United has actually gotten, in my opinion, worse. They played Everton this past Saturday, and got an Everton team that is in 17th place, that is leaking goals, that is giving up goals for fun. They gave up goals to Burnley, who's in 18th place, 3 goals to Burnley. And Burnley doesn't score a lot of goals. That's why Everton, Frank Lampard was hired on January 31st, and people are wanting to get rid of him at Everton. And Manchester United goes to Goodison Park and gets beat 1-0. That's right. They can't even score a goal against a team that's leaking goals, and they give up a goal themselves. Right now, Manchester United fans seem to think that if you bring in Eric Van Tag from Ajax, you bring him in, he agrees, he signs the deal, and then he's going to wave his magic dust. And all of a sudden, Manchester United is going to be fine. Look, they're talking about a team that is paying Phil Jones £150,000 a week to sit on the bench. Okay? They're going to lose Paul Pogba, but they're going to say good riddance. Cavani's gone as well. I don't see Ronaldo sitting back. Ronaldo doesn't sit around and not play Champions League. He doesn't do Europa football. He certainly doesn't do Europa Conference football. So he's probably gone as well. Now, most Manchester United fans want to get rid of Harry Maguire as well. Okay? And so right now, it's going to take. You're probably the only person who I've seen who has a realistic view of this is Saeed. Saeed believes, I agree with him, that he has about 5 year. This is about a 5-year plan. They're going to need to be patient. They're going to need to start from scratch. And look, you're not going to get rid of the Glazers. Not while they're making money. The only way you get rid of the Glazers is you make the club not worth as much as it is. It's worth $5 billion right now. Lose a lot of games. Put yourself in League One. Drop to the Championship, then drop to League One. Make it worth $550, and the Glazers will go. I promise you that. That's the only way you're getting rid of the Glazers. As long as this money, Manchester United is a global club, and they are making too much money. I don't care how much debt they put on the club. That's what they do. Okay, but you're not getting rid of the Glazers. So you can't fix that. But what you probably could fix is putting football people in charge, putting the right football people in charge, and building up and having patience. Something that a lot of sports fans do not have a lot of. And I don't think Manchester United fans fall into that category. Look, I'm no expert, okay? I am not a Manchester United fan, okay? And believe you me, there's a lot of people like me who are not Manchester United fans who are laughing their tuchuses off based on how things are going for you guys right now. We are not losing any sleep over the fact that you might lose at home to Norwich tomorrow. I don't think you will. I think you'll get a victory there. I think you'll be happy. But you're going to play Norwich tomorrow, a Norwich team that beat Burnley 2-0, okay? A Norwich team that is fighting to stay in the Premier League. That's probably going to go down. But it would not surprise me in the least if Norwich gives Manchester United a game tomorrow. Okay. In fact, they gave you a game at their place early, and I think you needed a penalty kick by Ronaldo to beat them. So I wish you all the luck in the world. You're not gonna no sympathy from me, but for a Manchester United, from a perspective from an outsider looking at Manchester United, I think that what needs to have happen for Manchester United is you need to ride the wave with the Glazers, hope they bring in the right people, and if they do, maybe you could, because keep in mind, when the Glazers bought the club, Manchester United still had Sir Alex Ferguson. Ferguson said they had guts, and they still won a bunch of Premier League trophies. They still won a Champions League. It is possible to win with the Glazers. The Glazers own the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the NFL, and they won a Super Bowl. Now, granted, they took Tom Brady to come down there to do it, but they've done it. Okay? So, Glazers out, probably not going to happen. They live too far away to let these protests bother them, and they're making too much money from your club. The only thing you can do is ride that wave, get in some football people, and hopefully Eric Van Dog can bring in the right people, because the Glazers will spend. They will spend to bring in who he thinks they need to get. And you're going to have a lot of patience, something I don't think you have a lot of. Manchester United, I wish you all the luck in the world, and I am sincere about that. I think the Premier League is better when Manchester United is one of the better clubs in the Premier League. We need to have somebody to hate. And we liked it a lot better when we were hating you. So if you agree with me, great. If you don't agree with me, put it down in the comments. I'm happy to listen to it, read them and see what you say. And smash a like, and please subscribe to my channel. I'm new at this, but I do have some opinions. Thank you.